Once upon a time, nestled in a valley cradled by gentle, rolling hills, lived an old farmer named Silas. His face was a roadmap of seasons past, etched with lines of laughter and hard work, and his eyes held the quiet wisdom of one who had long communed with the earth. Silas was known throughout the valley not for the vastness of his fields, but for the extraordinary patience he cultivated alongside his crops. One spring, as the last frost yielded to the warmth of the sun, Silas decided to plant a special kind of grain. It was a rare seed, gifted to him by a traveling sage years ago, with a promise of a harvest unlike any other, a golden harvest that was said to nourish not just the body, but the spirit. The sage had warned him, "This seed demands more than just soil and water, old friend. It demands the unwavering heart of patience. Its time of fruition is its own, and it cannot be rushed." Silas prepared a small, sun-drenched patch of land with meticulous care. He sowed the seeds, his calloused hands moving with a practiced tenderness. He watered them, protected them from eager birds, and weeded around them with a devotion that was almost reverent. His younger neighbors, full of youthful vigor and eager for quick returns, planted fast-growing crops. They would often see Silas tending his small patch and shake their heads. "Old Silas," one would say, "why waste your time on those slow seeds? Our fields will be green and swaying long before yours show much life." Silas would simply smile, a knowing look in his eyes. "Every seed has its own rhythm," he would reply, "and every harvest its own appointed time. Mine is a dance with patience." The days turned into weeks. The neighbors' fields were indeed a vibrant green, their crops shooting upwards with an almost impatient energy. Silas's patch, however, showed only tiny, hesitant sprouts, barely peeking above the dark soil. Doubt began to whisper in the village. Perhaps the sage was mistaken, some said. Or maybe the seeds are no good. Even Silas, in the quiet of the pre-dawn light, sometimes felt a flicker of uncertainty. But then he would remember the sage's words, "Unwavering heart of patience," and he would return to his tending, his faith a silent companion. Summer arrived, hot and long. The neighbors harvested their early crops, their barns filling with bounty. They celebrated, their laughter echoing through the valley. Silas's plants grew, but slowly, steadily, their stalks slender, their leaves a deeper, more thoughtful green than the quick-growing grains. He continued to water, to weed, to watch. He observed the subtle changes, the way the leaves unfurled, the way they drank the morning dew. He learned their language, their quiet persistence. One particularly dry spell hit the valley. The neighbors' fields, having given their quick yield, now lay parched and cracked under the relentless sun. Their second plantings struggled. Silas, however, had dug deeper wells of patience, and his watering, though more laborious, was consistent. His plants, though not yet showing signs of grain, seemed to possess a resilience, their roots having delved deep in their unhurried growth. Autumn began to paint the hills in hues of amber and gold. The air grew crisp. The neighbors had long finished their harvests, some meager, some satisfactory. They looked at Silas's field, still green, still without visible grain, and pity mingled with their earlier skepticism. "Poor Silas," they'd say, "all that work for nothing. He should have planted what we planted." Silas, however, felt a different stirring in the air, a different quality in the sunlight that fell upon his field. His plants now stood tall and strong, their leaves rustling with a new kind of whisper. He continued his vigil, his heart not anxious, but expectant, like one awaiting a profound and certain arrival. He was not waiting for something to happen. He was present with what was happening. Then, one morning, as the sun rose, casting a golden glow across the valley, Silas saw it. Tiny buds, almost imperceptible at first, were forming at the tips of his plants. Over the next few days, these buds unfurled, not into ordinary ears of grain, but into clusters that shimmered with an almost ethereal light. As they ripened, they did not turn the familiar yellow or brown of common wheat, but a deep, radiant gold, as if spun from the very essence of the autumn sun. The entire field was transformed into a breathtaking sea of gold, swaying gently in the breeze, each stalk a beacon of patient unfolding. The light it reflected was warm, nourishing, and seemed to fill the valley with a sense of profound peace. His neighbors came to see, their earlier doubts replaced by awe. They had never witnessed such a harvest. The golden harvest was real. When Silas finally reaped his grain, it was not only abundant, but possessed a unique quality. The bread made from it was said to fill one not just with sustenance, but with a deep sense of contentment and inner calm. The seeds from this harvest were shared, and those who planted them, if they too cultivated the seed of patience in their own hearts, also witnessed the miracle of the golden harvest in their own time. If we see in our lives, we will find that the most precious things often require the longest and most patient cultivation. We live in a world that often demands instant results, quick fixes, and immediate gratification. We plant our seeds, our goals, our dreams, our relationships, our personal growth, and expect them to sprout overnight. When they don't, we grow restless, we doubt, we compare ourselves to others whose fields seem to be flourishing faster. But Silas's story reminds us of a deeper truth. True growth, profound transformation, and harvests of lasting value often have their own unhurried rhythm. Patience is not passive waiting, it is active faith. It is the diligent tending, the unwavering belief in the process, even when visible results are slow to appear. It is understanding that some seeds need more time to draw nourishment from the depths, to build resilience against the inevitable dry spells of life. The golden harvest is not just a material bounty. It is the inner peace, the wisdom, and the deep satisfaction that comes from aligning ourselves with the natural cadence of growth. It is the understanding that by embracing the journey, by tending to our efforts with a patient and loving heart, we allow the most beautiful and meaningful outcomes to unfold in their perfect, appointed time. The greatest yields are often reserved for those who have mastered the gentle art of waiting with unwavering faith. What lessons do you take from Silas's story about patience and growth? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring tales.